Let's talk about one of my favorite parts of vintage, the Letterman jacket. And that's not my Letterman jacket behind me, that's Pamela's Letterman jacket. But the fact that I even have to acknowledge that it's Pamela's Letterman jacket is part of the reason why I want to talk about Letterman jackets. Letterman jackets, or just Lettermans in general, are as American as apple pie. Welcome to your fashion guide, where today we're taking a look at the Letterman. First Letterman was made in 1865 at Harvard University by their baseball team as a way to denote the fact that the players were part of the varsity baseball team. Eventually, Letterman sweaters trickled their way through the entire Ivy League. The sweaters became cardigans eventually becoming full wool sweaters because people wanted something sturdier and warmer. The original purpose of the Letterman jacket was to denote your status, what you've done, what you've achieved throughout your career as being part of the bigger unit or team that you are a part of. Eventually, Letterman sweaters made their way through the local college scene and then they trickled their way into the high school. I think it's the ubiquity of the Letterman jacket that I think it has fallen out of the cultural zeitgeist. Most things, eventually the Letterman jacket morphed its way into the cultural zeitgeist as a purely fashion item. One of my favorite Letterman jackets that was seen on a celebrity being the Sonic the Hedgehog Sega Letterman that Michael Jackson. They really did become a hot commodity in the 70s, 80s, and 90s as an item that was bought by many a sports enthusiast. Though the ones that I'm talking about are usually made out of wool and leather. As Lettermans trickled into the cultural zeitgeist, they were often made out of a lighter, more breathable material, so usually satin. It would be hard pressed to go anywhere in the 90s or early 2000s without running into somebody with a satin Letterman of their favorite sports team. It's that ubiquity plus like what the Letterman represents that has kind of made it fade to the more niche parts and if you know parts of the public consciousness. I think a Letterman jacket is probably one of the coolest and most personal items somebody can own. It's kind of seen as very lame to wear your own Letterman. Letterman jackets are only really cool when found or handed down to somebody by another individual. When bought purely for fashion's sake, but I will say most Lettermans that you see in the wild aren't good Lettermans. It's usually because most well-decorated Letterman jackets are usually held onto by the individual, and again, passed down as an heirloom. It's a shame because I think a well-decorated Letterman looks absolutely gorgeous. There's a certain amount of love and admiration in wearing somebody else's Letterman, especially if it's forgotten. They are uniquely designed to tell the story of somebody's sports career. Maybe they played chess, or maybe they were in band. And maybe you should probably ask your parents if they still have their Letterman because they're very warm jackets. Mine personally is a full wool one from the year I was born that I found. It has this beautiful apron contrast to it. I think film and television hasn't been particularly kind to the Letterman, usually being the jacket of choice by a bully. I think they also read very peaked in high school. People don't like personal clothes at the moment.